Back to For What It's Worth. My name is Will. We are going through Bible prophecy. And the last 20 or so videos that I've done were pretty much in rapid fire succession. I was putting one out like almost every day for one stretch. And it's been about a week since I put out the last one. And the reason why is because, well, the first, 20 videos or so have all been just, bubbling up and stored up like right here. And I just had to get it out, And now I'm kind of slowing down and I'm looking at certain events or certain themes that are in Bible prophecy. And I'm wanting to dig a little deeper and I'm wanting to study those out with a little more detail. And I don't want to come out here and just throw opinions out there that I haven't vetted. So I want to vet some of my opinions or what I think is an opinion before I throw it out there and then have to come back and go, you know what, maybe I misspoke. I mean, that could totally happen. But what I want to talk about today is the idea of the wars and rumors of wars that Jesus spoke about as leading up to his second coming. And I don't think Jesus was talking about your run-of-the-mill war between, the United States and Spain in 1901 or whatever year that was. I don't think he's talking about those wars. I think he's talking about only concerning the wars that lead up to the end for Israel. And not like the rest of the wars of the world, because there's always those, but the ones that concern Israel. And there are three wars that I think surround the 70th week of Daniel, or that last 7 years, that involve Israel leading up to the return of Christ. And these are the wars that we need to recognize in prophecy. Now, many Christians are not even aware of one of these wars that I want to talk about right now, and it's totally off their radar. When I talk to some, regular church members who aren't really into prophecy that much, and I bring up this war in prophecy, they've never heard of it. Now, if you're into prophecy and you watch videos about prophecy and you read books about it, you probably heard about this, and this is old news for you. But again, my purpose in making these videos are for friends and family members primarily who I want to make aware of the times that we're in, so that when things really start rolling downhill like a snowball heading for hell, they will not be so surprised by it. But they'll have something to kind of go back and go, wait a minute, I remember my brother-in-law, or I remember my cousin, or whoever, I am to you, said something about this. Let me go back and maybe, hopefully, get some people to spark an interest in prophecy, because you don't want it to happen around you and you don't know what's happening. And that's what I think is going on with this particular war that's in Psalm chapter 83. The Psalm 83 war is a war that, by most scholars, look at this and say it's never happened. It's something that's in the future, but we just don't know when. And I think that the future is now, and that we've been in this war, or not we, but Israel has been in this war, and that it's not all at once in one single attack, but that it has been a series of attacks involving the same people that are in the chapter. And I think we're coming to a place where Israel's cleaning it up. And at the end of Psalm 83 is upon us. So let's look at this. Those who don't recognize this chapter, never really read it, or don't know anything about it, this will be new for you. Now, for those who do know something about it, most of us will think that it's a big event that happens later, maybe during the tribulation. But what if this war has been ongoing since their independence in 1948, or the Six-Day War in 1967? And it's been continuing, through the Yom Kippur War in 1973, all the way to its current form being fought right now on every side. And they are fighting for their survival. And what if we are seeing the fulfillment of prophecy in Psalm 83 playing out right before us? In fact, I haven't heard anybody say anything about this, and I'm not trying to say that I discovered something, but I'm just throwing it out there that, hey, what if Zephaniah 2:4, I think, may have just been fulfilled last year between October 7th and today, where it says, "In Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod as the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up." Those are all Philistine cities, and the Philistines and Gaza is the Gaza Strip, the one that we know of today, and the Palestinians. That the word Palestine comes from the old word Philistine, and the Philistines have always been the archenemy of the people of Israel. And in the last year, Gaza has been forsaken. Ashkelon and wherever these old Philistine cities were on the Gaza Strip have been rooted up and driven out and desolated. I mean, they've been destroyed. The place is a big old rubble heap. And verse 5 through 7 says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the seacoast. The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan, the land of the Philistines. I will destroy thee, that there shall be no inhabitant." Has that happened before? Or is this it? I'm throwing it out there. But I think sometimes we live in this dispensational mindset that, oh, well, this dispensation we live in, there's no further signs. There's nothing that we're to be looking for. We're just waiting for the trumpet to sound, and that's it. And I think with that mentality, we miss stuff. And this may be one of them. Anyway, back to Psalm 83. Psalm 83, yapping dogs. I don't know if you could hear that. Anyway, Psalm 83, verse 3 through 5, says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They have consulted together in one consent." This is like the Islamic conspiracy to wipe out Israel as a nation. They keep crying from the river to the sea. That's their chant, from the Jordan River to the sea. They want to drive the people of Israel out and kill them. And they have this hive mind, this demonic one mind in their religion to utterly destroy and kill the Jews and the people of Israel and get them out. It's a wicked demonic mentality, and it's just all it is. And so who are these people that are a confederacy against Israel? Who are these people in Psalm 83? Well, the tabernacles of Edom. Edom is in South Jordan. The Ishmaelites, that would be the people of Egypt, Sinai, Arabia, down there. Moab, that would be west central Jordan. The Hagarenes, that would be Syria. Gebal, I forget where that is. Ammon, that would be Jordan. Amalek, that would be south of Israel and the Sinai Peninsula. The Philistines, that would be Gaza, the Palestinians. The inhabitants of Tyre, that would be north in Lebanon. Asher, or Assur, also is joined with them. That would be Syria. They have helped the children of Lot. The children of Lot is Moab. That would also be somewhere around west central Jordan. So has these countries of one mind attempted to drive Israel out and to remember them no more and destroy them? Absolutely. The 6-Day War, Yom Kippur War, those especially were the big ones, where the odds were overwhelming against Israel, and Israel beat them back. And it wasn't just Israel who did it, but the stories that come out of those wars from the 1960s and 70s are almost biblical, like Elisha, 2 Kings stuff, where there's mighty beings that were fighting against the terrorists, and they were too afraid, and yet there was only 2 soldiers with running out of ammo fighting against them, and yet they ran out like 100 terrorists. And there's stories like that where God went and fought for them. and defended them. And so you could look at every one of those countries between the 1960s and today. They have been at war with them in one way or another, and they're doing it again right now, and they're wiping them out and they're cleaning them up. So every one of these modern countries where the ancient peoples used to dwell have been at war with Israel since their reestablishment, and they've tried to wipe Israel off the map and cause them to be no more as a nation. And they all have agreed upon this with this Islamic hive mind of genocide. And it could be that we're at the end of this war and approaching the Gog-Magog war of Ezekiel 38, which is the next one I'm going to talk about in the next video. But everybody thinks of it as one war where all of them all come together at one time. But like right now, like Saudi Arabia is good with Israel. Egypt is good with Israel. It's, Lebanon, Syria, Palestinians, they're not. Iran now, So seeing all of them come together, I mean, it could happen. It could still happen where they all come together at some point and try to wipe out Israel one more time. Or maybe we're looking at it wrong. Maybe this is one of those things in prophecy where you see the mountain in front of you, but then when you go to the side, you see the valleys and the hills and the peaks, and that's what this has been all this time. I'm just saying that could be the way this is fleshing out. So I'll leave you with that, something to meditate on, and we'll look at the next war.